Welcome guys to the first Godot video on the channel. It's just going to be an overview for those who haven't actually used Godot. I am using the Steam version of Godot, so I have a lot of examples here listed. But what I'm mostly going to be going through is just the basics that you need to know to navigate around in Godot. When you start it up, it looks like this. You can import projects, which is what all these are. They're projects that I've made and I've moved around. You can remove them from your list. So if I wanted to click this and remove it, it won't show up in my list anymore. Import, if you have projects like on a flash drive or something that you need to bring to Godot, you'll import them. Um, okay, now you start off in the 3D scene editor, which is similar to Blender as far as movement. You use the scroll wheel to go in and out. Right click to put you in the, or if you hold the right mouse button, it goes into first person view. Uh, Left mouse button to select. Press 5 to go to isometric. You can go to your different viewpoints using 1, 3, and 7. 1 is front view, 3 is right view, 7 is top view. It's kind of, it gets handy to know those little shortcuts when you need to place something just right. Um, that's really it as far as the 3D scene editor. Obviously, there's more to it, but just kind of like, hey, this is what this is. That's all there is to it. There's a 2D scene editor with this blue box being your visible frame whenever you run it. And there's not much to the 2D scene editor either. Come over here, you have your scene and your import. Scene, you'll use this to add items into your scene. You have 2D nodes for 2D games, 3D or spatials, and other things like controls for 3D games. There's a search feature, so if you wanted to add a mesh, which is like basic, here I'll go ahead and add one. Just basic shapes. Double click it, it'll import one. You have settings over down here. So for this specific instance, we have different types of meshes we can add to it, like a capsule mesh, or there's a lot of meshes. And it'll add it to your scene, as you can see. Over here, we have mesh instance. This is really useful when you have meshes. It creates a collision body for it. As you can see, oops, zoom back out. Made a collision body for it. Um, Another way to do that, just real quick, you can add childs to certain meshes. So as you can see, the static body is docked under this mesh instance. That's because it's a child of the mesh instance. If I want to add a collision shape, it'll be a child of that mesh instance. And it's giving me these errors because I haven't done something right, which I'm not too concerned about right now. We're not actually recording anything. Um, you have script for whenever you add script to things. So if I was to add a script, which brings up another thing, Godot, from Steam at least, supports 3 different languages: native script, Godot script, and visual scripting. Um, for this channel, I'll be going over Godot script and visual script. Yeah, that's how you get to your different scripts. So let's say we have a, oops, just want to change the language. There we go. Now you have our GD script for that first mesh that we created versus your visual script. And I will be going more into depth over those. The first tutorial I'll be doing is a top-down movement using both the GD script and visual scripting. That's pretty much it as far as starting off goes. We'll get more into other things. As we use some of these, I'll explain what they are and how to use them. You have a recent tab over here, which comes in handy um, if you're making a lot of assets of the same type. You can actually save these. Okay, I don't know what happened with that. Um, as I was saying, you can save those two. Let's open the scene real quick. For example, you can save this and have your main game scene in, and you can just drag and drop them in. Okay, I had to close those, and it was weird. Um, I have a spatial in the scene now as our main scene because there needs to be a parent for every scene. But you can drag and drop these that you have made directly into your scene, and you can see them build up over here. And you can see that some of them are the ones that have script, which I kept the GD script just to show that, so that everything doesn't have a little script paper on it. Yeah, that's it. We'll be going more in depth as we go along. Obviously, I'll be explaining the code. I'll be explaining what nodes to use where and why we're using certain nodes and things of that nature. So, look forward to that. I'll see you guys later.